Hello and welcome back to Our Life Beginnings and Always. This is the Step 4 DLC with the Derek focus, so we'll see if Cove even shows up in this. I need a timer to have a stopwatch so we know how long we've been here so we don't go on for hours. But I think things are about to get pretty charming. Derek talked about how we should go see all the family. So we're gonna do that. So since he was busy with that, you decided to return to your guest room. You considered freshening up by changing. Tapping your fingers on top of the bag, you cycled through the options in your mind, but nothing felt right. Eventually, you settled on using the bathroom and splashed some water on your face instead. As you crossed the apartment, you peeked over at Derek. There was no way that you could know what was being said, but he shot you an exaggerated thumbs up. He took that as a strong sign that all was going well. That's right, he went to call everybody to see if we could go hang out now. You threw your fists into the air, mouthing a silent yes. The way Derek's lips twisted, he could tell he was trying very hard not to burst into laughter on the phone. It wasn't very long before your visit was properly arranged. The calls were ended, and you were leaving the apartment behind. Derek hesitated at the door, and here we are at the classic Our Life Clouds transition scene that they use for every transition when they don't have a proper scene. Now, all the extra backgrounds they've done for this particular segment, this DLC, has been amazing. Thanks for coming along, by the way. Hope you're all doing well today. Derek hesitated at the door and tapped with his bottom lip. He was double-checking his mental checklist, but that too was resolved in short order. You both stepped out into the hall, and this time he remembered to lock the door before he dashed down the hall. Derek forgets to lock the door, apparently. That was the whole thing. Hopping into his car, you promptly took off. The drive was lively. You spent it taking turns telling each other new stories about your families and your latest personal adventures. Thanks to the slow-moving traffic, it was a 20-minute drive to reach his parents' new place. Derek pulled in automatically and noted how lucky you were that this condo had guest spots. So, like, we don't get an inside of Derek's car either. I'm disappointed about that. But, 20-minute drive across LA traffic sounds about right, man. I haven't never driven in LA and I don't want to, but that's just, yeah. Nodding along, you followed as he enthusiastically showed you the way. Derek knocked solidly, but not loudly on the door. Oh, I can't do it. I tried to do it. I used to be able to do that. They knew you were coming. It didn't take you by surprise when the door almost immediately pulled open. Mrs. Suarez joyfully greeted you both. Okay, I am really interested to see if and how they've aged Derek's parents up the way they aged the moms up in Cliff. They didn't. She's wearing different clothing, but she doesn't look really... I mean, I guess maybe they were young parents before, but she doesn't look significantly older. You will recall my specific rant about the moms and how they look significantly older than I think they should for how old they are in the game. Like, people don't age that badly. Maybe they do. Maybe the moms just age. Maybe Mrs. Suarez just ages incredibly to the point where she has no gray hair, no wrinkles. She looks exactly the same, just in a different outfit. I don't know. Hi, welcome home. Game. Without a second thought, she wrapped her eldest into her arms. Derek gladly hugged her back with the same vigor. Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom.
Good to see you.
And Marina, too. She ushered you two inside, and you got your first look around. The Suarezes had moved there a couple years ago, but you'd never gotten to visit until now. So, yeah, this is also their new house. It's completely different than the previous place. It looks more normal to me than the previous Suarez house. Also, why are her eyes just permanently closed now? This is really weird. She's not even looking at us and blinking. She's just stuck in this closed eyes position. It was still just as homey and comfortable as their old apartment. When you traveled farther inside, you spotted Mr. Suarez sitting at the kitchen table with a chilled drink. He took a slow, drawn-out sip. I remember Gregorio, but I don't remember her name. And then he placed the cup down and got up to join everyone else. He stood in front of you like you were a newly arrived audience, pointed at his wife, and tattled. Mom made me promise not to get the door. She wanted to be the one to ask. Okay, they aged up Gregorio. He's got shorter hair and is clearly going gray. And physically a little bit changed there too. I guess maybe Mrs. Suarez is just young. Maybe that's the point. Like she was like really young before, and now she's just like she's probably the youngest mom. Mrs. Suarez was unapologetic and owned up to her own actions entirely. She went over to her husband and soothingly rubbed his back, and now she's winking at us. Man, I like the faded jeans though, Gregorio. He's rocking that. I love this man's. He's a good character.
Thank you.
For being such a good sport about it. Of course, but I get to have my greeting now. Doing exactly as he promised, Mr. Suarez turned from his wife to you and Derek, two guests in his home, and pushed his glasses higher up his nose. Hello, kids. I'm happy you came early. I couldn't ask for better visitors. It's great to see you two. You both look wonderful. I love your new place. You smiled. Oh my god. You both looking wonderful. You kindly nodded as you spoke, you waved as you spoke, you held out your head to shake, you hugged them both. You hugged them as you spoke. Overwhelmed with joy, you pulled Mrs. Suarez into a big hug. When she let you go, you did it all over again with Mr. Suarez. They were both just as delighted to squeeze you back. I mean, this is Marina. She's not shy. Why, thank you, Marina. Mr. Suarez held himself proudly at your praise while Mrs. Suarez tried to hold back her giggles. You're so sweet to us. Okay. Derek clapped his hands together and you couldn't help but smirk. The image reminded you so much of his mom trying to bring order to her rambunctious son. Speaking of...
So?
Where are the bros? Where are the bros? Uh-oh. It's the same as always. You arrived first. It is the same as always. It made sense to you that you'd beaten Jorge there. He had to rearrange his day on the fly to make it. But why wasn't Nico there? Your eyebrows raised in surprise. You didn't have to ask for an explanation. Mrs. Suarez gabbed about it in an unintentionally overdramatic tone. That's my question each day. Nico is never home with me anymore. Now that school's out, he travels into the city as soon as he gets up and only comes back in the evening for dinner. Oh wow. Nicolas is not attached at the hip to anybody anymore. He is the opposite. He's out doing stuff in the city. Wow, this is a happening. This is like the opposite of Nicolas when he was a kid. A mother's gloom over her baby growing up was given a silver lining by the father.
Yes.
He is independent.
Maybe.
But he is usually, but... Mrs. Suarez held her cell phone up and her lips curled into a mischievous grin. She added a wink when she shifted her attention to you. I might have sent a text that you two are coming by. I'm sure that'll get his attention. He'll get his butt back here sooner rather than later for a change. Right. It struck you then by Derek's understanding tone that none of this was news to him. They were explaining Nico's habits for your sake. The whole family was as polite as they were perceptive. Since we got time, why don't you show Marina the condo?
Let's go.
I was about to suggest the same thing. What do you think, Marina? Want to take the tour? I do. Show me everything. Mrs. Suarez's delight was evident. She endearingly looped her arm through yours to lead you directly. Similarly to what Derek had done earlier that day, his parents led you through the highlights of their new home. Mr. Suarez proudly listed all the amenities the complex offered outside as well. Derek leisurely followed along behind the group, loosely listening to the fact list. He had a few notes to add here and there. Sometime later, a phone interrupted the conversation with a low ding. Oh, sorry, that's me. He partially shifted the phone out of his loose pocket and checked for any important news. He beamed victoriously and let his phone slide back into the depths.
Nice.
Jorge's here. Oh boy. Are we ready for this? I don't know if I'm ready for this. I feel like I've seen them, but I don't remember what they look like. And with good timing, the tour was complete. Let's go meet Junior. So so he's Gregorio. I'm guessing Jorge is short for that. I mean, it's George, right? Jorge is George, and Gregorio is also kind of like Gregory, which is kind of similar, I guess. So he's like Junior, I guess. The current group left the hall behind and crowded back into the living room, ready for the party to grow in size. As you got there, you heard a firm and even-paced string of knocks on the door. Mr. Suarez eagerly shuddered over the sound. My turn.
All right.
Fair's fair. Cheerily, Mr. Suarez jaunted off and swung the door open wide, knowing that his middle son was on the other side. Oh, that's right. No, that's right. He's not like stacked, like Derek. He's like tall and thin. That's right. He lost a lot of weight. That's right. And he was, although Jorge Jr. Suarez was hardly a junior anymore. That's right. He's all tall and thin now. You got the... Yeah. Jorge had not only grown taller than his big brother, but he also towered over his parents. Your jaw would have been on the floor if Derek hadn't mentioned this earlier. Still, from his neat sandy brown hair, his calm expression, and relaxed stance, you knew he was still the same boy you knew as a kid. Jorge also remained placid presence in his rambunctious family. They cheered his arrival, and he smiled sweetly.
Hello.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Welcome home, Junior.
Don't worry about that.
You didn't take long at all. Derek struck when Jorge was distracted by their parents. He hooked an arm around his brother's neck and pulled him close. Jorge hugged Derek to his side. So, Derek's already here, huh? Yeah, I am. Never would have guessed that. The brothers let go and gave each other one last light shove. Jorge went over to you next.
Hey.
Marina, it's been a while. I've been waiting forever to see you. I'm so proud you've grown into such a responsible young man. I mean... Stunned, he could only let out a nervous chuckle. He awkwardly stepped forward and quickly hugged you back. It's, good to see you, too. Oh, come on, you were like the good kid when we babysat. You were like the one she, like, bonded with, man. Like, she liked Nicolas, too, but, like, we got along just fine with good old Jorge. You noticed the remaining rigidness left from Jorge's frame. He snagged a drink from the kitchen and settled in. He was joined there by the others. He recounted his days so far. Eventually, you all heard the distinct sound of the doorknob jiggling and then turning. No knocking was required for this one. There was only one person it could be, the last to arrive for the gathering, and the last to have been born. Nicolas! The door popped open with a swish, and you saw they were undeniably right. That's right, that's right. Yeah, that's right. This man's wears a freaking quilt. I love it. I love it. It's beautiful. It was Nico, and his appearance had your brows pinching. He was extremely different, yet simultaneously so similar to the tiny 6-year-old you had met him as. That's right. This is what we get now. Oh my god. Somehow his hair had managed to be even wilder than when he was an elementary school kid, but besides that, he'd become a young man despite continuing to be a baby in your mind's eye. He was sporting a colorful rainbow romper that was fashionable as it was functional, as well as iconic hair clips to round out the mix of old and new. Nicolas is back! With a roll of his eyes, Nicolas animatedly gestured and held his arms out. You bit back an amused laugh. Yeah, this kid probably never gets the end of it. For, like, all the stuff that he did when he was a baby. the way he acted. They probably, like, don't leave the crap alone about it. Oh my god. I love the colors of Jorge's shirt, too. I want a shirt-like color. You're both way more fashion-forward than your older brother. Y'all need to get this man some better fashion. Basketball frickin' shorts. Holy... Well, wasn't expecting that. No shit. I live here. That's not news. The first words out of Nicolas's adult mouth. No shit. I live here. News is that Derek and Marina are back. He bounced over and managed to securely lock himself around his big brother's wide chest. Derek wrapped an arm around his brother's shoulders in response. Derek ruffled Nico's long, thick hair before letting him go. It was sweet that the gesture of affection between them hadn't changed, though Derek didn't have to lean down to do it anymore. This is just... Hello, son. Thank you for coming. Walking by, Nicolas gave a short wave to his parents and elbowed Jorge chummily on his hello. Jorge teasingly retaliated with a poke to his little brother's side. Finally, Nicolas stepped in front of you. Hey, Marina. Welcome to Casa Suarez. You can't be that big. That's illegal. He offered him a high five. Nah, we hug him too. We hug all of them! He happily welcomed you in his arms. Sorry, Marina. The law has no power over me. You still couldn't believe how much of him there was now. He was always so tiny in your memories. Now that the whole Suarez family, plus you, was together again, Mr. Suarez immediately, admiringly looked at his wife and then his son, securely hooked his fingers into his belt loops.
That's good.
Yes, I wonder if everyone here will be coming back tomorrow as well.
Of course.
Marina and I are going to be here for sure. I might manage to work it into my busy schedule.
What do you think?
Also, while we're talking about tomorrow, that reminds me, I wanted to ask you if it'd be alright for Mr. Holden to join us for Father's Day. It couldn't be a joint party with us and Marina's. It could be a joint party with us and Marina's family. Oh, Cliff, that would be quite an event. I'd be happy to have the company.
I figured.
But I wanted to ask first. We'll invite him when we go down to Marina's neighborhood later. Thank you so much. Your excitement accidentally increased the volume of your things. Mr. Suarez cracked an entertained smile and then let out a booming laugh.
That is all right.
The more the merrier, as Mr. Holden himself might say. I already can't wait for tomorrow.
Wonderful.
Superb. That's exactly what I wanted for the day. Mr. and Mrs. Suarez provided lunch. It was nice for the whole family to be sitting at one busy table. But afterwards, Derek announced that you two should hit the road. I'm gonna get going too. I've still got a class later. Are you serious? We've barely done anything. Sorry, Nico. We gotta take the trip out to Sunset Bird before it gets any later. Fine. Me, you, and Jorge are doing something together and not just a Father's Day thing, okay? Something that's gonna be fun with just us. Sighing affectionately, Mrs. Suarez shared a look with her snickering husband. Nicolas was going through the iconic parents are uncool teen phase. I don't know which. I like this version of Nicolas a lot. Jeez.
Don't worry.
I made sure to have that whole day free. I promised to come over early. Derek tilted his head toward you, silently asking your opinion before agreeing to anything. I'd love to hang with the boys.
I swear.
Cool, got that? We'll both be there. Count on it. We can do whatever Nico wants in the afternoon, and it'll be Dad's pick in the evening. Maybe we'll go to that. I bet we'll go back to that amusement park that we all went to. I bet they're gonna reuse that, right? That's what we're gonna do, I swear. Alright, see you then. And with that settled, everyone exchanged their goodbyes and see you soon. See you and Derek left in good spirits. Okay, this is the best picture of them. That look on Nicolas's face. This is clearly the very best of the Suarez brothers. Imagine if you got married to Derek and you saw all these people in like tuxedos and stuff. You hop back into his car, already eager for home. Sunset Bird was waiting for you. Hey, now we get the inside of Derek's car. Got the big. This is like modern day stuff because we're in the future now. We've got the big GPS and actually this is his phone messages, isn't it? This is like all the yeah. This is pretty fancy, man. This is a pretty nice car. During the drive, you sent off a text to let your moms know that you were coming by soon. They knew you were arriving today, but they had no idea when you were going to be free to come see them. You also sent a text to Mr. Holden. Yeah. Now we'll let Cliff know. We're not going to surprise him. Actually, should it be a Clifford surprise? Yes. Yes. Actually, it sure needs to be a Clifford surprise. The corners of your mouth curled mischievously. You had a good feeling that he'd be home this afternoon. Humming to himself, Derek sped down the highway. Slow down, Derek! The city's skyscrapers were far behind you. In the distance, there was nothing but rolling hills of green. It was strange to be sitting shotgun with Derek after all the years of your friendship being trapped in a long-distance zone. But at that same time, it also wasn't. What was arguably stranger was how his presence affected you. Having him there by your side was the most normal thing in the world to you. Soon enough, you began to recognize the landmarks dotting your way back to your hometown. Excitement buzzed under your skin. You were ready to get back home. The car flew past now leaving sign, and you rolled down the window to wave at it. Officially, you were finally back at Sunset Bird. I should have waited and called this episode Welcome Back, Sunset Bird. But here we are. Did we miss this street? It's been a year. Did we miss it? And the music has changed too. Oh my god. It didn't take more than a few minutes to drive through the rest of town and roll into the sleepy neighborhood where you grew up. Derek parked along the curb and you both slid out. Sorry about my stupid nose today. Of course it would start doing this when I sit down to do this.
Nice work.
We made it safe and sound. Yeah, nice work you, huh? Yeah, I don't know, man. Sorry, I had to check something on my phone. Derek leisurely leaned on his car. He looked over the roof and lifted a questioning brow. So what you want to do first? See your moms or go check on Mr. Holden? Let's go visit Mr. Holden first. If he's not there, then we can try again after seeing my moms. Really? Not gonna see moms first? Oh. And if he's there now, there's a chance he might not be when we're done with the other visit. Sounds reasonable to me. Together you crossed the street and walked up to the familiar door. It was still a little odd remembering the condo was now only inhabited by one single Holden. You rang the doorbell and waited. Luckily, the familiar face of Mr. Holden appeared in the doorway and beamed to saying you. Well, that's right. I think everybody's about the same as they were in the last one, maybe slightly older. I don't remember. I've seen them in their like older forms, so I don't remember if we know what Cliff always looked like.
Hey!
Derek gave a big wave at that. Mr. Holden returned cheerily until his brain caught up enough to let him speak. Where in the world did you come from? Surprise! You tipped your head back and burst into a deep laugh. When you could breathe again, you pointed your thumb at Derek. He's letting me stay at his place so I could come visit.
Come on.
That's great. Come on in. He waved for you two to follow him inside. You did, and he glanced back over his shoulder to address you further. So, what can I do for you two today? Oh my god, Cliff. I love you and your sharks and... Yeah. It's like 50-year-old Cliff Holden. What a guy. Well, now that you mention it, I was wondering if you're busy tomorrow.
Oh?
I'll be getting a call from my boy, but that's about it. What? You want to go to Suarez's house for Father's Day with us? I know you're not really my dad, but I'd really like you to be with me on Father's Day. No. Don't say that crap. This man's is the closest thing we have to an actual father, okay? You want to go to Suarez's house for Father's Day with us? Do I what? His jaw hung open. Mr. Holden placed a hand on his chest with a thumb, giving himself a bit of a jump start. Really? You want me to come for Father's Day? Yes, I'd love if you joined us tomorrow. Yes, I'd love it if you joined us tomorrow. That's totally Marina. She would totally talk like that. Marina's right. My family loves you. He paused, glancing over at you. Derek knew how much this invitation meant. You're important to everybody that'll be there. So would you join us? You could see the tears start to form in Mr. Holden's eyes. He was trying with great difficulty not to get too emotional.
Okay.
Then I'll be there. Just tell me when and where.
It's no problem.
I'll text you the details later tonight. Great. Mr. Holden shifted and calmed him in his feet. He was still feeling overwhelmed by the situation, but he shyly faced you. I hope you've been doing well. Things couldn't be better these days. Agreed.
How's it going?
Glad to hear that. And your moms, are they doing alright? I haven't actually seen them yet. We're going there next. Could I tag along? I've been meaning to visit them. It'd be nice to stick with you two a while longer. I mean, they live across the street from you, Cliff! What is wrong with you? What's wrong with this guy? Yeah, that'd be perfect. Let's move this party across the street. Nothing else needed to be said after that. The newly arranged group pivoted out the door and strolled right over to your childhood home. Without missing a beat, you located and rang the oddly placed doorbell. Ma expectantly answered the door. Eyes sparkled and landed on you immediately.
Hi.
Hello, sweetie. And Derek, welcome. That's right, we have slightly older Hawaiian shirt Ma now. Like, yeah, this woman aged. She looks better with the short hair, though. She looks somewhat less old than she did in Step 3, for some reason. She looks more appropriate. A few seconds later, she realized there was a third, less anticipated guest at her doorstep. She tried biting back her giggles with a little success. Oh, And hello to you, stranger. Hey there. The kids swung by and I thought I'd visit too. What a lovely surprise. Come in, come in. Ma stepped aside, grinning widely. She held the door all the way open so everyone could hurry through. Ah, yes, step 4 home. They've got... Are those cookies or are those something else? I don't know. And they're some kind of onions or something too. But it's roughly the same as it was in step 3, I think. I don't think it's changed much. I have ceased trying to understand this home. Hey, yeah. Oh, that's right. Pam looks like this now. Pam has like the slick back hair. That's right. This is our new Pam. Lonnie and Pam. That's right. Oh boy. Mom's voice rang out from the hall right before she appeared physically in front of you. She excitedly stopped at her wife's side.
Nice.
Oh, what a great crowd. Hi, Moms. I missed you. I'm home. You're both looking good. I hope you've been well. You're both looking good. I missed you. You threw your arms around both of them. Of course. Diving into them, you could feel one of them soothingly rubbing your back as they held you close. Actually, this mom probably mom. You held on to them tighter. We missed you, kiddo. Every day. Derek gently worked his way into the conversation. You didn't miss the way his skin was suddenly a shade rosier than before.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Mrs. and Mrs. Foster, for letting me come by, too. It's nice to see you again.
You're fantastic.
You don't need to thank us for that. You can come over any time. You're an excellent guest.
That's fantastic.
I gotta...
You're fantastic.
That's fantastic.
They're both saying fantastic. Yes, and we need to thank you for giving our marina a place to stay. Now we'll get to visit with them even more this summer. Oh, that's right. They do the pronouns for them. That's right. The pronouns. Thank you, Ma, for reminding me. They shared a knowing look with their eyes alight. They had to be thinking of this big anniversary, later in the season. Yeah. So when you do the Cove thing, the Cove DLC, you're back in town for their anniversary party, not for Father's Day. And it's, yeah, so that's later in the season. So that's interesting to know. That's like in July or something. He'd be coming back to Sunset Bird for that. He didn't mind all the traveling. It was worth it. Maybe we will come back to Sunset Bird for that. Good point. Happy almost anniversary. It's like their, I don't remember what anniversary, like 30th anniversary probably, something like that, 30 or 40. They're in their 50s, right? We determined this, so they've got to be something like that. Thank you. That's gonna be a night to remember, I'm sure. I bet. We're gonna have a nice little shindig at the Cypress. But what's shaking? You've been busy, huh? Yeah, so I like that they make these nods to what you would do in the Cove. So maybe it makes sense to do both DLCs. Since that happens later in the season, we could do the Cove DLC too. And then we get to see Cove and have this party at the Cypress. Ooh, I like it.
Oh, yeah.
It's been crazy for sure with the move, and learning the ropes to help my dad out with some things and other stuff. There's a lot going on. Tell me about it. I wasn't expecting things to be this jam-packed. The group relaxed and hung out in the living room. Each person shared updates from the past and plans for the future. It went on until the sun began to set. At that point, you and Derek decided it was best to leave sooner rather than later. The end of their visit was accepted with grace. Bye, and thanks for coming to see us.
Take care.
Tell Mr. Suarez Happy Father's Day for us. So we probably won't see the moms anymore in this DLC either. It's going to be mostly about Dad's Day and about the Suarez family, I realize. Unless we have another reason to come back to them. We'll see.
I gotcha.
We'll be sure to do that. But like I said, the Cove DLC is all about the moms. Mr. Holden remained in his seat. He'd already planned on visiting with your moms a little while longer.
See you.
Take care. I'll see the two of you tomorrow. Bye. Great seeing you. With that, you stepped out into the warm embrace of the evening air. Leaving the house, going out in that street, it was something you'd done countless times, believing how much the context of that action had changed was hard. You were out only here on a visit, while the person you were staying with was Derek, a true reversal from the old days. Let me talk for a second about that. It doesn't matter if I close that or not. I do this all the time now. I go home to my family's, my childhood home for, like, Christmas and stuff. and other holidays. I'm going to be making a trip there later this summer to see my family for a special occasion, kind of like this. And it is such a weird feeling going back to your childhood home after you've left and moved out and built a life for yourself somewhere else. It is the strangest feeling in the world. It feels like you don't live there anymore, like you don't belong there anymore. But it's all still familiar and nostalgic. And you spend a brief moment with people like your parents, and that's it. And then you don't see them again for like a year. It's such a weird feeling, and that's kind of what I wanted to capture with Marina here, that they do this as well. But I'm glad they're addressing this. Derek followed you out, but didn't go to his car. Instead, he stepped into the center of the road and stayed there. His gaze wandered up the hill and past that, off into the distance. He spoke with a voice as comforting as the familiar sound of the crickets.
Hey, before we go, could we stretch our legs out a bit? There's one thing I want to do over here.
Don't have to ask me twice, lead the way. Gotta go to the beach, right, Derek?
Thank you.
Well, that...
Thank you.
Derek tilted his head in the direction he wanted to go. His mouth hooked into a grin, and he started strolling. He followed at his side. Derek moved with wide, carefree strides. His arms pumped back and forth at each step. You found yourself headed outside the residential area of Sunset Bird and onto the main street. Oh, he doesn't want to go to the beach. That's more of a cove thing. And the Poppy Hill is Cove's like special place. But where are we going with Derek? It had been nice to refamiliarize yourself with the area during the little jaunt. Derek had a conversation going between you.
It's still hard to believe we're hanging out together right now. Seriously, when did that happen?
It's been a long time.
But also, when did it stop happening? It's, well, something I've been thinking about.
His voice grew quieter and he was unable to meet your gaze. He shrugged and let the conversation hang on that note. The walk continued and you had a good idea of where he was going at that point. There was something coming up in the middle of the path, and it wouldn't hold any interest to anyone other than you, Derek, and Cove. Oh, yeah, that! For the three of you, it was special. Derek crouched down on the ground right where you expected. He smiled wistfully at the decade-old inscription. Remember when Cove wanted to do this and was like, super like, I'm gonna be a delinquent, and Marina's like, yeah, fuck yeah. The writing was well worn, but still visible. He slowly placed his finger over the small print he'd left of the concrete as a 13-year-old. He was so much larger than he used to be. His finger completely eclipsed the tiny mark, and yet he seemed small again to you in that moment. Next, Derek moved to the summer 2011 you had made. He dragged his fingertip over to carefully trace it. So this is all reading back to how we played this out earlier in the story. If we hadn't done this, I wonder if we'd still get this moment. I mean, they would have still done it, or Cove at least would have done it, but I don't know. Would it have meant as much to Derek? This is from the moment where we went to the grocery store with them to like make our lemonade and stuff. So they are going to reference a lot of the Derek moments. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Nicholas is going to want to go to that amusement park so we can reuse that and talk about how he passed out. We had to carry him and stuff. There was something on his mind that swept over him miles away all of a sudden. You had no idea what it could be, and that uncertainly left a sour taste in your tongue. Derek remained transfixed with the concrete, and his own internal musing. Gradually, his frown worsened. So this is 10 years, so this is 2021 is when this is. So they all survived COVID, or COVID never... I'm assuming in this world COVID never happened. Because this is supposed to be 10 years after that, right?
This sucks.
Time is a sucky thing to play against, if you mess it up, that is. Even if you try to turn things around later, you're not getting what you lost back. It's just gone.
Making mistakes isn't a waste. You think you messed something up? That scares me. You should be proud of what you've been able to do. You watched him quietly. Do you think you've messed something up? He chuckled, but it was the farthest thing from being reassuring. You nervously chewed at the inside of your cheek. Are you still sad about that time I broke your heart back in, like, 10 years ago? Because I imagine if you had made that pact to, like, get together with him, this moment might play out way differently. And that's why I still have, That's why I still have this, if I ever want to go back and do that moment over again.
I really messed up.
That was all that came out of it. Derek pushed off the ground and got back on his feet. He brushed some dirt off and took his phone out. I'm actually really curious where this is going. He got a picture of himself giving a thumbs up in front of the concrete slab. This solemn air around him vanished.
Okay.
I'm gonna text this to Cove.
Wait, I want to be in the picture too. Cove will appreciate our patronage to the stone idol. You leaning down, you placed a hand on the concrete bolt and bowed your head. A fond grin tugged at your corner of Derek's mouth.
I bet. Hopefully he'll be with us for the next one.
You caught Derek's gaze wandering off again. He hummed thoughtfully and you followed his eyeline to the local store across the street.
Oh, man.
I just remembered, I'm still low on groceries.
We could journey over there.
We could. But I'm worried things could go bad on the drive back to the apartment. Plus, it's been a super long day already.
It doesn't take that long to drive to your frickin' apartment. What? I drive home like with ice cream from work every day. Not every, you know what I mean, every week. All the time.
How about we pick something up for dinner and save the shopping for tomorrow? My treat.
How could I say no to that? I vote for takeout.
Awesome. Think about what you're in the mood for and let's get going.
Hey, let's go to that one McDonald's restaurant that we always go to. That's like the only restaurant you have, like, you know. Together, you eagerly went back the way you came. This time you got in the car and drove out of Sunset Bird once more. Derek ordered for your preferred drive-thru and temporary parked in the shade to pass out the goods. Oh, we don't get to pick. And we're not going to use that restaurant background that we used before. He handed you your drink and a folded paper bag with your food. You dug in immediately. That paper bag has chemicals in it that are going to be stuck to you forever, Marina. Don't do it, folks. Don't get paper wrappers from fast food restaurants. Derek's ride was nice and still had a new car smell. He had no problem with people eating in it. Oh wow, yeah, so this is pretty new, fresh 2021, whatever this is, car. I don't know if my pal, who knows cars, has any idea what this is. It's also weird to me that the back seat kind of cuts off here. This is a weird, I don't know, it is weirdly aligned. He shared his philosophy on the inevitability that lived-in stuff is going to get dirty. He wasn't going to get mad about normal wear and tear. It's true. That's how I feel. I try to keep stuff really clean, though, until it's not. But, the whole thing weird. I still want to know what's on his mind here. With a big family of busy boys and an inability to keep things pristine certainly must have been an unavoidable fact of life for Derek. You and him enjoyed the meal. It was long finished when he pulled into his apartment's designated parking spot. With sunset dimmed down to inky blackness, it was hard to see. Derek switched on an interior car light as you gathered up trash and bags and dinner had come in. He led the way to his place, key in hand, and unlocked his door. Derek had held it open for you instead of going through. You could have told someone that he'd do that before it ever happened. That was second nature to Derek. He took a few steps in and flicked on the front light switch. Derek came in second and closed the door behind him.
Phew.
He walked further into his living room and flopped down on his couch.
That was a successful day. A long, successful day. I feel like you already been here a week and you got here this morning.
I've really been all around. I'm glad to be back. I'd practically forgotten I don't live here. It was such a nice time. I'm glad to be back. Today it's cemented why you'd come on this trip. You needed this.
What a coincidence. I'm glad you're back too.
I don't know if I could stay with a friend, though. I usually just stay with my parents, but my parents have more space, too. The moms don't have that big of a space. Well, they do, actually. Never mind. I don't know. I still don't understand why you don't stay with the moms. Because you could also choose to stay with... If you go the Cove route, you stay in a hotel. I think. Here you're just crashing with Derek. Derek leaned his head back as he thought.
Tomorrow's gonna be busy too.
He raised his hand and caught each of the planned activities with a finger.
Groceries, taking the bros out, and the Father's Day thing.
Be great. I'm already tired as the end just hearing it. I also want to go get something gift-wise for Father's Day. Yeah, I think we would definitely do this. So add that to the list. I want to get your dad something. I want to get, something for your dad and Mr. Holden for the holiday.
I'm impressed.
You're so nice. We could find something when we're out shopping, I bet.
We're gonna go to the shopping street, Derek? No, we're gonna go to the mall. We're gonna go to the mall, folks. Thanks, that'll work out. Thanks. Derek blinked sleepily, sinking further into the couch. He looked cozy. He shook himself and suddenly clapped his hands together.
But hey, you probably want to shower and settle in for real before it gets even later.
So this is kind of like, you know, like a lot of series these days. The last episode of it is like a movie. I should have just did this all as like one long movie-length thing. But that would have required me to sit down all this time. And you're getting more entertainment out of it being multiple episodes. But this is kind of like you did the whole rest of our life in episodics, and then this is like our life begins and always the movie. He grabbed the back of the couch and hauled himself to his feet.
No worries.
We can always work on the schedule when we're not sweaty and exhausted.
But that's the best time to plan things. Derek exhaled sharply at your joke and he smiled. Yeah, I'll go gladly take your hot water. Bye, Derek. Derek waved you off as you returned to the guest room. You got out your stuff, pulled out put your toiletries in the bathroom, and showered. You tried to be quick and were soon in your pajamas, winding down for the night. Once again, you were back in your own room. You plugged in your phone charger, unpacked tomorrow's clothes. A knock rattled your door.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Derek accepted your invitation and shut the door behind him after he walked in.
Sup, pal?
Sup yourself. I mean, I don't know what exactly is supposed to happen here, but I mean, I said this before. You sat in the bed and patted the spot next to you. You shut your suitcase and climbed on the edge of the bed. You scooted to the corner, leaving room for Derek's sized person to sit down. Derek stood in remember the time we sat in his bed in his bedroom and talked that one time? It's kind of like that, right? Derek stood in the corner of the room, not getting the hint until you gestured the empty space beside you.
Oh.
He strode forward and hopped under the mattress. The bed bounced beneath you. He grinned boyishly at you.
Everything good in here?
Yeah, definitely. I've triple checked that I brought everything. Looks like I forgot my wallet, you joked. I forgot to pack shampoo and conditioner. It is. Thanks for asking. You smiled back in response. Looks like I forgot my wallet, you joked.
Don't worry about that.
Alright, I'll cover you. You can always pay me back later.
Derek, I'm kidding. It's right here, and I'm pretty sure you must have seen it earlier. I actually haven't. He shrugged, unconcerned.
I figured, but even if it wasn't, it would have been okay too.
Derek stretched his arms above his head and yawned. Despite his sleepiness, he remained upbeat. Rather than seemingly done with the conversation, he appeared to be mulling something over, probably what to say next. He wasn't being irresponsible and going to bed early. He didn't mind. This was your first day back together, and there was no need to rush his end. A spark came to his eyes, inspiration striking him. He instinctively leaned closer to you, bringing your faces almost nose to nose.
Marina, while you're here, we should go to a water park. There's one a ways away, but it'd be so worth it.
Oh my god! He eagerly continued to lay out his thought process.
Oh, man.
We haven't done something like that since that boardwalk. Man, that was ages ago, and our families were here. We're there. If we tried it, we could keep it just you and me. Obviously, there's no chance tomorrow, so how about the day after that? We could go there first thing, spend the afternoon together, and get going before it gets late.
He paused and took a hopeful breath, all of his attention focused on your reaction.
So, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd love to go. That's perfect. I'd be willing to give it a try. Well, alright. It's all just non-verbal. That's perfect. A water park was such a good summer kind of thing to do. You looked forward to Derek finally taking you. That's written a little weird. But, I have been to a water park before. I've been to like a big one, and I've been to like some smaller like local kind of things with like lazy rivers and slides and stuff too. I like water parks. I like them more than amusement parks. I'm not an amusement park person. I probably talked about that at end before.
All right.
Derek smiled wide, and you could tell he was already mentally planning on how the adventure would go. You were grateful to have a day ahead that was for you and Derek only. As much as you loved your family and his, an opportunity for one-on-one time wasn't something to pass on. With absolutely no further prompting, he winked.
Since I'm finally saying this, I might as well admit the rest. I've thought about inviting you to a water park before. And not only the water park. There were a lot of other places I wanted to take you when we lived closer to each other. There was always a reason not to. I was busy and you were probably busy, or maybe you wouldn't like my idea and all that.
You're still the same Derek. You're still, like, always in his own head, his own worst enemy, Derek.
That's what I thought.
He dropped his gaze and shrugged. He waited for him to rally, to turn around. You could picture him saying something positive, maybe better late than never, or being glad that he finally did it. But as the silence continued, no silver lining came. He failed in his past endeavors, and that was it. No one spoke. The awkwardness began to press on you. But Derek brightened his voice, unwilling to let it linger any longer.
Well, it's late. I shouldn't keep you up. I'll see you tomorrow night, or tomorrow bright and early. We should plan to leave the apartment by around 8 for shopping. Everything's close enough that we can walk, if it's alright.
Okay.
Good night.
Great. Good night, Marina.
Night, good night, Derek. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I'm really looking forward to it. You hugged affirmatively. Good night, Derek. Derek nodded and left the room without another word, leaving you alone. I mean, I wonder if you were, like, actually kind of, like, crushing on each other. If that could go differently. More stuff to try. I doubt they would do that, but my headcanon, right? After all of what you had earned, after all of what you had earned your exhaustion. All of that. That's got to be after all of that, right? Not all of what? That doesn't make sense otherwise. You were at your limit, too sleepy to do anything else. You flicked the light switch and went straight to bed. Okay, we are gonna stop there for this one. We've had a exhausting, an eventful time meeting the moms and Cliff and the Suarez brothers in this one, and now we're gonna go shopping, and we're gonna go hang out with Nicolas and Jorge some more, and then we're gonna go to the big Father's Day celebration. So we'll see you all next time.